Okay, I'm just going to show you here how I do my cleaning, my regular cleaning using the e-cleaner cartridge of the Kangen machine. The very first thing you want to do whenever you start this procedure is to turn the power off.
Power off.
And then once you've turned the power off, you also unplug the machine. So now we're ready to start. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill up this e-cleaner cartridge with the cleaning powder. And just going to cut this bag open and pour it right into the cleaning cartridge, making sure we get it all in there. And screw the top back on. Alright, and then take this cover off. And we'll be taking the filter out. First, we're going to remove the locking ring by turning it to the left and lifting it off. And then just lift your filter out. Make sure both O-rings are on your filter and not left behind. And then put the cleaning cartridge in. There we go. And then put the locking ring back on. And always make sure when you put that on that it's not cross-threaded. Make sure I have a nice fit there, which I still have a little bit hard time getting in, but there we go. Got a nice good fit. So we're going to do the next step, which is flush some water through the machine, and that's going to run for anywhere from 10 seconds or 1 liter. Since I prefer to measure it so I know exactly what I have a liter measurement here, which is about equivalent to 1 quart if you're using a quart measurement. So I'm just going to turn the water on. I'm going to put this glass in place because we're going to put the hoses in there later. So I'm just going to turn it on right now. And you always make sure the water is cold. And go ahead and let it fill up to the 1 liter mark or thereabouts. And then once I get there, I'm actually turning it off. I'm just going to go ahead and dispense that. What I do now is we're going to have both of these sitting in water, so I'm turning it on briefly again, just to be sure that we've got actually water running through the hoses and got them all dipped into that water right there. And the reason that I do that is to make sure that the cleaning solution is going to be throughout the hose, because you may get mineral buildup actually inside of the hoses as well as on the plates inside the machine. So by doing this, you're ensuring that the cleaning solution is working throughout and cleaning all parts. So at this point, we're just going to leave the machine sitting like this for 3 to 5 hours, or you can leave it overnight if you prefer that, but no more than 9 hours. And I'm going to put the cover back on here in the meantime. And I always make sure after I do this to flip this switch from the ion over to either shower or tap, because of course you don't want to have water running through here now for the next 2 hours. So that's it, and then we'll be back a little bit later to do the final part. Alright, so now this has been sitting for 5 hours. So I'm going to take this cover back off again. And however, we're going to still leave the cleaning cartridge there for now. Take the hoses out and replace them in their original positions. And then just going to let water run through the system for about 10 minutes, anywhere from 7 to 10. I prefer probably to do it the full 10. And of course, always make sure when you're doing this that the water is cold. So I start running it, because if you put warm water through the machine and the machine is not powered on, it won't give you the warning that hot water is running through the system. So test the water first, nice and cold. Flip it over to the ion setting. Have it running at a good flow rate. And then leave it there for 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set a timer for it so that I can just walk away and not think about it until it's done. Set the timer, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay, so now it's been running for 10 minutes. I'm going to turn it off, turn the timer off. Then we're going to be replacing the filter, putting the filter back on. So first, of course, taking the cleaning cartridge off, making sure the O-rings come along with it, and then you take your filter, put it back in, make sure it's nicely seated in there, and put the locking ring back on, again making sure that you're not getting any cross threading. Okay, there we go, filter is back in, so I'm going to put the cover back on. Actually, usually I leave the cover off just to make sure there's no leaking or anything going on when I turn the water back on. So what we're going to do now is just let water run through it again before we turn on the power. So I'm going to turn it on. It doesn't have to be real high this time. Just get it going to about there. And leave it running this time for about 3 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and set my timer again. 3 minutes. And we'll be back and get our machine back up and running again. Okay, so the 3 minutes have gone by. I'm turning off the timer and turning off the water. And we're now good to go. I'm going to put the cover back on again. I'm going to plug the machine back in. You'll see some numbers and letters flashing on the screen quickly, and then just turn it back
Power
on.
Kangen water 9.0.
And you've done your cleaning, and depending on whether you have hard water or soft water, you're good to go for until next week or until a couple of weeks from now.